Welcome to Bedford County Sports Talk Live. I'm David Thomas. This is Bill Anderson. We're here to talk about tomorrow's game against Columbia Central. Sheville Central High School hosts them here, Bill. Big region game.
Last year, 29-27, that was a war, if you remember last year over there. That was a battle. I anticipate this is going to be a same type game. Probably a similar type score.
Yep, similar type score.
It's going to be close.
And it depends on the weather as to whether we score a lot of points or not. Last year it was back and forth, and we had some injuries during that game. Mm-hmm. We lost a defensive player. Abernathy went out with a broken ankle.
And that's where Chandler Cates first came in.
Yeah, he
really
came in on nice defense. Game. On defense, he played really well. So,
he saved us.
We've got some athletes on the other side of the ball, Bill.
Oh, they've got and they've got a lot of them. There's absolutely no question about it. Number 7, you'll notice that plays quarterback for them. Some they've got 2 quarterbacks, 1 thrower, 1 runner. Number 4 and number 1, the running back. And my understanding is I was told today that Division I schools are looking at him. He meets the measurables in terms of height and weight.
Yeah, he's pretty good size, and he's tough to bring down.
Tough to bring down. We'll have to tackle well. Tackle number 1, we're going to have to key on him a little bit. But where they kill you, David, you and I were talking beforehand, the little slants and the crossing routes, and that's what we're going to have to be really careful about.
That number 7 quarterback that's, quote, the runner, like you say, he can throw it.
Right.
He was throwing it against Marshall County, and that's
the other quarterback takes their deeper shots when he comes in. And you better watch for the shot down the field.
And he seems not quite as mobile. I mean, he's more of that drop back passer. But one thing I noticed as you know, they've had 3 games. We've had 3 games. Their first game was against Marshall County. Lost a close one to them. Marshall County turned the ball over, made some mistakes. They weren't the typical Marshall County. They're not the same Marshall County that played us on that night. The first quarter of that game was marred with penalties, and I don't know if it was the referees getting acclimated, the teams kind of had the jitters or whatever. But honestly, I think if they played today, then Marshall County had beat them by 2 touchdowns if they played their typical game. I think the key for us, depending on the weather or not, it's like always blocking and tackling.
Sure.
If we block and we tackle. I mean, and I guess you could say that for them too, you know. But what do you see, Bill, as
well, I see a really good chance here for LeBron Ransom, Stephen Bobo, William Bobo, and Maddox to have shots and interceptions in this game. And I don't know if we have an interception this year.
LeBron did.
Well, LeBron had the one pick 6.
And I think right. William had one too, didn't he?
I can't remember. But anyway, I think it's a big opportunity for us to get some turnovers in the passing game here.
Right.
Because number 2 for Lewisburg had a big pick 6 for Marshall County, and he intercepted another ball, and he was just back there playing center field. But when they take their shots, the key's going to be when they made that adjustment, Marshall County puts 2 basically playing center field, and he made the picks. Yeah. We've got to have some safety help in obvious passing situations where you know they're going to throw it up. There's got to be a safety back there. And if there is, I think you'll get interceptions from that.
Well, it depends on how they line up. They've got multiple different ways line up. They'll throw 3 receivers at you. They'll throw 4 at you. They throw 4 at you, there ain't going to be no safety help because you can't have it. The safety's got to come up unless you're just sitting back in a soft zone, and they'll tear that apart. I think.
Well, the one you need to watch out for is number 4 as far as catching the ball.
Yeah.
So now, if I was going to do safety help, it's on number 4.
I notice when number 7 gets pressure, that's when he takes those shots that gets him in trouble. He won't take a sack. He'll sling it out there, and that's one of our opportunities.
Another guy stuck out to me, too, is a big defensive tackle that Columbia's got that I believe he's right now an Indiana commitment, but I believe other Division I schools. He's already committed to Indiana, but it's not signing day. So there's other schools involved here, too. Big kid.
They got 3 D1 players.
They do.
And, last week we had that big line. Columbia's big, not quite as big, not quite as aggressive the way I see it. And I'm wondering about their team chemistry a little bit. Yeah, because they're rotating a lot of players in that first Marshall County game that I saw. And it looked like they were trying to figure out who was who. Now, going into the 4th game of the year, we know what we got. Surely they know what they got. So things should be more settled down. We're going to see
the difference. I hope is we've challenged ourselves by going to Siegel, a 6A school.
Yeah.
Played Marshall County. We lost that game.
Yeah.
Coulda, shoulda, but we lost the game. And then we go to Coffee County, and again, adversity strikes us.
Right.
We fight back.
Right.
Now, outside of Marshall County, Dixon County's not very good, and Hunters Lane's not very good.
Yeah.
They're just not.
Right.
So I don't know that Columbia's been challenged like they will be tonight, or tomorrow night, rather, until they play Shelbyville. And I think what I'm trying to say is I think Shelbyville's schedule's been stronger.
Oh yeah, there's no question. We've had that test put to us where they haven't yet.
Right.
Later, our schedule gets a little bit easier toward the end, and ours has been built, and that's a perfect setup. And I think Coach Dryden has done a great job of putting that schedule like that. You're now tested for 3 games going into your most important game of the year.
And key to the game to me, no special team blunders. Can't have them.
Can't have offsides on the kickoff.
Nope.
Can't give up a touchdown on the kickoff.
Nope.
If we can kick it in zone, we need to kick it in zone. Now, we're going to have some wind tomorrow
And we've been okay with field goals here, but we've got to get the snap back and the hold down for Betzelberger to make those extra points.
Right.
All these little things. Need to start going for 2.
Well, here, the thing is, you start looking at extra points, field goals, botch punts, they end up being points for the other team.
Well, sure.
Easily.
I mean, Betzelberger's kicked 2 or 3 in the end zone this year that have come back on an offsides penalty already this year.
You take away a botch punt last week, and we lose that game.
Right. Or you don't jump offside.
Right. Man.
You don't give up that touchdown the other way on the kickoff.
Yeah.
Because that was a touchback.
So there's lots of things. And it's like Coach Dryden said in his coaching show this week. The football is not round.
No, it's
and
not.
It's going to bounce a lot of crazy ways. So.
Stay disciplined. You got to tackle well. Again, keep the penalties to a minimum, but stay disciplined. And that might be an issue Columbia may or may not have, is discipline at times. We've got to be very disciplined. No special teams blunders, like I said. Let's get Robert going here early. Now, do you think they're going to put 8 in the box? I would.
Bill, I've been thinking about this. What's it going to take? The threat of the pass, not necessarily having to
hit one.
All you got to do is hit a couple against them, a couple of short passes. That frees those linebackers, pulls them linebackers a little out into something in the flat.
Because the difference in your 2 running backs tonight is Robert Bailey can move. You give him 5 yards, he'll go 80.
Yes.
Now, I don't think number 1's going to do that, but number 1 may kill you by going for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
All right, who's a key player for us tomorrow night on offense?
I think it's Steven. I think when they come 8 in the box, can Steven get in a rhythm and, like you said, complete a couple of passes. But the big thing, maybe Steven pulling it here, he pulls it out, carries it himself.
Yeah, they're going to be keying on him. They got to pay attention to him.
Oh, yeah.
They got to pay attention. If Steven breaks a couple early and gets some big yardage on it, that's going to open it up for Robert.
Well, I predict both of them go over 100 yards tomorrow.
Yeah, I think we need to pass for over 100.
Yep.
We need to have Steven rush for 100 and Robert have a big game for us.
Right.
And we could handle Columbia. I think they're going to have a hard time stopping Robert. I really do.
Well, I do too, unless they come in with, which is what you and I would do.
Oh yeah, I'd
put 8, 9 in there, and I'd make someone else beat me.
Yeah, I'd make.
Coffee County sort of did that a little bit. They sort of just sold out and said, you know what, you're not going to beat me.
Yeah.
And we have found a way to win the ball game.
I'd love to see Nate Zimmerman in the backfield, Robert Bailey at tight end in motion.
I like to see him catch just one pass.
Run it over to the flat and take that thing in an open space. And then, that's just my dream. But
got to get you playmakers in space. Yeah. That's the key. And, of course, the other key will be the offensive line's going to have a tweak or two again like last week because we got our tackle out.
Yeah.
So we're having to shuffle some folks around.
Yeah.
And they've got to play well. And, again, this big guy is a problem. I don't know how we're going to block him, but you might have to run away from him at times too because he's one big fella.
Yeah, he's big. But
how well he moves, I'm not so sure. But, I mean, these D1 schools are on him. Y'all have seen he sticks out.
Yeah, I miss wondering if Chandler Cates moves to left tackle to block him. That's the thing. I mean, that would be our key. Our left tackle is out.
And I think another key is, I mean, just because they said it's going to rain, look, that means it's going to.
I know.
And I think the crowd and getting the home and having a crowd like we had at Marshall County is huge here.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Columbia will bring a lot of people. They typically don't.
No. And
it's important for us to have fans out here to get these kids going.
Okay. One edge I think Shelbyville has is that toughness.
Yep.
About that fight.
Right.
Okay. One thing that I wish I could see a little bit more of from our defense is when they get in the red zone, when the offense gets in the red zone. we're tough as nails. It's tough for people to get there on us, but when we get there, it's almost like we let up a little bit. And I'd like to see us get stiff.
And I would like to see us eventually get to where we play the wheel route better.
Yeah.
Because it's burned us against, it burned us against Coffee County. It burned us against Marshall County.
That's pressure on those linebackers to see it and pick it up.
Because, now that the tape's out there, that's the first thing when we're bringing our pressure. The other staff's going, all right, wheel route. And that's a great route to pick off for a pick six the other way if you're playing it right.
Yeah.
And, you can turn that your way.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a fun game to watch. I think whoever comes out of this is in control of the region.
Oh, I do too. I think that's the key to this.
Yeah.
And you want a home play, and you want a home playoff game if you can get it, and you got to finish 1 or 2 to get that.
Well, Bill,
hey, we'll just give it real quick. Just say that also that Community and Cascade are playing.
Yep,
and that's big for both programs. The Battle of Bedford, nobody wants to call it, and that'll be interesting. But just because they say it's going to rain, unless you see it rain,
that's right.
Until you see it, plan on going to the game.
I'm going to be monitoring the weather all day tomorrow, so I'm gonna.
Well, we monitored it today, and
I know
it
nothing
turn
ever
out,
really. It just kind of stayed to the west.
Sprinkled.
West Tennessee's getting hit, and it's kind of dry right here. So let's hope it stays that way. Well,
absolutely.
Everybody, get out and support your Golden Eagles tomorrow night here at 7:00 at Sheffield Central High School Stadium.
Saturday morning show, 9 o'clock.
Saturday morning, yeah, we'll be here at 9 o'clock,
and we'll have the Judd Dryden show on
next
Tuesday.
Have some players of the game. Hopefully, talking about a big win.
Absolutely.
See you next.